Welcome to Innerji, Tarot Tea Astrology and all things metaphysical. Hi, I'm Leslie, the Metaphysical Crone, and I'm going to do an oracle reading for you for this coming week, which will end, I'm going to take it right through till the end of October, right through to the 31st. It's going to be an oracle pick a pile reading, so I'll have 3 oracle decks, and you can choose the one that you are most drawn to. I'm also then going to use my spinner life wheel to choose which area of life each reading will be about. So without any further ado, let's begin. So here we have the 3 oracle decks that I'm going to be using for the readings this week. We have the Angels and Ancestors Oracle, the Gaia Oracle, and the Beyond Lemuria Oracle. So please just gaze at them for a moment, take a few deep breaths just to tune in and see which deck that you are drawn to for this reading. So I'm going to get my star spinner wheel. Here we go. And I'm going to spin the wheel for pile number 1, and let's see what area of life we're reading about. And we're going to be reading about your physical environment. So that's your house, your car, where you live, all the physical things that you deal with in life. So that particular reading is going to apply to the Angels and Ancestors deck. So let's move these other ones out of the way for now. And let me shuffle. This is going to be a 3-card reading. So if this is the deck that you have chosen, then this reading is for you. And remember, with all general readings, you only take what resonates for you and you disregard the rest. Because as you can imagine, reading just generally, it doesn't necessarily apply to every little component of your life. And the area of life we're looking at is your physical environment. So let's see what the cards reveal. And so we have the White Witch. So this is about being the light. We also have Star Ancestor, follow the voice of your soul. And then we have the Shaman, trust in higher forces. So when it comes to your physical environment, what I'm seeing here is bringing spirituality into your home, bringing your belief more fully into your home. It might be about starting up some new spiritual practices, whether it be Wicca craft practices, whether it be more the starseed practices or more into the shamanism, or it could be a combination of all 3. But what this is saying to me is that, you know, where you live, where you work, what you do in this world physically, it is about staying true to your spiritual path and following that as well, and applying it in a more practical, everyday way. With the White Witch, it's saying be the light. So this is about you shining your light in your everyday things that you do. You know, it's great to have sacred space. It's also great to have, you know, specific rituals at full moon, new moon, etc. But bringing it into the everyday, making it a daily practice to shine your light and be who you truly are from your own inner wisdom and your own belief system. Now, with the Star Ancestor, it's about following the voice of your soul. And the question to ask yourself in this coming week is, am I speaking my truth? Am I really voicing what my spirit, what my soul is about in my everyday life as I do my chores, as I work? You know, spirituality is not mutually exclusive to everyday life. So it is about following that true voice that's in your heart that comes from your spirit and your soul. And finally, with the Shaman, we've got trust the higher forces. So whatever decisions you're making physically this week, whether it be doing something in the house, whether it be something to do with work, expenditure, money that you might be spending, any of the practical physical things, just tune into your higher self and ask yourself, is this decision for my highest good to actually buy this thing or do this activity, because this is all about your physical environment. Let's add a few charms. Can't stay away from my charms. I love them. So a couple of charms for the White Witch, and we've got the book and the bells. So this is about you opening up a little bit more about who you truly are. You know, we all wear masks in life. We're not fully revealed to others. And so when it comes to your everyday, this is about you really, really opening up and announcing your inner wisdom, sharing your inner wisdom from a very positive, very energy-filled point of view. With the star ancestor, let's see what we've got in the way of charms there. And we have the key, and I'll bring this up so you can see it more clearly. We have the little teapot. So in terms of following the voice of your soul, really communicating in your everyday life, your spiritual self, by talking in a very light-hearted way. You know, it doesn't have to be going out and preaching to people, I believe this and all of that kind of thing. It's more about how do you share who you truly are from a soul perspective in your everyday communication with people, in your socializing with people. You know, are you keeping it all hidden, or are you quite open? And I feel it is time to open up just that little bit more. And a couple of charms for the shaman in terms of trusting in the higher forces. And we've got the ship, and we have an astrology sign, and I'll see if I can get that in focus. There it is. We have the sign of Leo. So what this is saying is that, you know, just go slowly, travel slowly and steadily in terms of trusting the higher forces about the information, about the messages that you apply in your everyday life. And the sign of Leo is about fun and pleasure. You know, our spiritual life in our everyday world doesn't have to be super serious. You know, we can have fun within our spirituality, and that's what this is saying. It's saying trust in your own higher forces, trust in your guides, but it's okay to bring a bit of fun through your spirituality. So I do hope this message resonates for you. Now we're going to move on to the Gaia Oracle, and we're going to spin the wheel for the area of life for this oracle. So here we go. I feel like one of those quiz shows. And it is in the area of spirituality and personal growth. I'll bring that up a little bit so you can actually see it. It's not very clear. We've got a bit of gloss on here, so it makes it a little bit hard. All right, so let's shuffle the cards. Again, I'm going to do 3 cards. So if you've chosen the Gaia Oracle, then this reading is for you. Looking at spirituality and personal growth between now and the end of October. Let's just get that shuffled a little bit more. I always shuffle until they kind of just feel right. So here we go. So we have yin yang. We have the 9 of Hearts. And we have Eternal Love. These are beautiful. All of these decks have beautiful artwork. I really can't say which is my favorite. All right, so in terms of your own spiritual growth, we've got yin yang, and this is about creating harmony through balance. So for this coming few days, just over a week, whenever you're watching this before the end of October, for you, it is about looking at the balance of your own personal growth. Where are you at in your own personal growth? Do you feel that you're on track? Do you feel that you're in balance? Do you feel that you're looking at both the light and the shadow of your spirituality, of yourself as you travel through this life? It is really important not to just focus on the positives, but to look at the shadow side and see how the shadow side can hinder or help, because with the yin-yang symbol, there's a little bit of shadow in the light and a little bit of light in the shadow. They intermingle, they interact. It's not that we're light today and we're dark tomorrow, we're in shadow tomorrow. They mingle and intermix with each other. So I feel that for you, it is about checking where you're at in your spiritual growth and your personal growth. Do you feel that you are balanced, that you are addressing the light and the shadow? Then we have the Nine of Hearts, and this is all about fulfillment, harmony, and protection. And then when I look at the art in this card, I'm really drawn to the Eye of Horus, and I really feel that this is about you looking into your heart. In terms of your personal growth, we have the tree, and your personal growth by looking at both the light and the shadow and how they intermingle in your life for growth is key. And bringing it from a heartfelt space, bringing it from your emotional space, and really looking deeply at how your emotions are affecting your personal growth so that you can stay strong, grow tall, but at the same time, branch out in your journey through life. And the final card we have is Eternal Love, and this is happiness, harmony, and fulfillment. What a beautiful ending card. And so I feel for you that if between now and the end of October, you can look at what's in balance, what's out of balance. Don't ignore the dark. I know it's important for us to be positive and shine our light, but we do have to look at the challenges we've had in our life and the challenges that we have now so that we can bring those challenges into the light for growth. If we look at it deeply within a heart space, from our heart, we'll grow strong. And that means by doing this, we will have found that unconditional love, that love that we have that doesn't put, I will love you if, or I will love myself if, no conditions. It's just there, eternal, bringing you happiness, harmony, and fulfillment. Let's add a couple of charms and see what other information we can glean. So the two charms I have for the yin-yang symbol is the sign of Scorpio and the lobster. And so this is saying to me, with the sign of Scorpio, it's fixed water. It's about diving deep into the emotions. And it really does line up with looking at the balance for you. It's internal balance as well as external balance. So I feel that you're going to dive deeply into your emotions in order to have a look at where you're at with this. And we have the lobster. And lobsters, when their claws clamp onto something, they don't let go. This is saying to me, it may be challenging, it may be hard to redress this imbalance that you may be going through, to look at this shadow side, but hang in there because it will be worth it. Then we have a couple of charms to go with our Nine of Hearts. And we have the book, she's upside down, and we have the dancer. And so this is saying that, you already have a lot of your own inner wisdom. You are already seeing deeply into yourself. You've come a fair way on your personal growth and spiritual journey already, and you have collected knowledge and wisdom. And so when it comes to looking deeply into your emotions about this state of where am I imbalanced, where am I in balance, it's about treading lightly, it's about dancing lightly, it's about looking at it but not taking yourself down that deep rabbit hole that you can't come back from again. So it is about taking a lighter approach when you do this so that you're not hard on yourself. As human beings, we can be the worst self-critics. So this is about really looking at it deeply but lightly. And a couple of charms for the eternal love that is going to come your way, the happiness, harmony, and fulfillment. And we have the fairy wand, and we have the rose quartz heart crystal. How appropriate is that? This is saying to me that if you do this work between now and the end of October, it really is you're going to wave your magic wand when you do this, and your heart is going to be filled with this unconditional love. You are going to come back into balance if you are out of balance. But if your balance has already been strong as you've gone through this process, it is going to grow even further, and you are going to really live more from your heart space. I do hope this reading has been of help. And so now we come to the third pile, which is Beyond Lemuria Oracle. So if this is the pile you've chosen, then this is the reading for you. And let's get our spinner wheel to see what area of life this will apply to. And we've got health and well-being. Now, I do have to put a little disclaimer here on health and well-being. I don't predict illnesses and I don't predict cures and I don't offer prognosis or offer cures. This is more about the energy of your health and well-being, body, mind and spirit, not just physical illnesses. So let us shuffle the cards and see what we have. And the backs of these gorgeous as well. I'm just going to shuffle until I get a feeling that they are in order, in place. I don't know about you, but I sometimes have difficulty shuffling larger decks because I have quite small hands. This one needs, there it is there. So let's see what we have. And the first card we have is Manifestia. The second card is Loving Compassion. And the third card is Internal Explorer. Gosh, there seems to be a bit of a theme for all three piles. So let's see what the cards say. So Manifestia. This is a card of manifestation. And as you can see, you know, if you put the effort and focus in and you bring it from both the mind and the heart, you can manifest what you want before the end of the month. You know, at least start the process of manifestation. You know, it is about getting into the right headspace, but manifestation is possible for you. And when I look at the art in this card, I'm really drawn to this area coming down over the third eye, pointing right down into that third eye area. And this is saying to me that you really need to listen to your intuition about what it is that you want to manifest between now and the end of the month. Now, we've just had a full moon, so we're in the waning side of the moon, which is normally not as strong an energy for manifestation as a waxing moon is. But that doesn't mean that you still can't use this time to prepare for manifestation. What you can do is you can look at what you want to release, because there's a saying, nature abhors a vacuum, the cosmos abhors a vacuum. And so perhaps as you go between now and the end of October, that you might like to consider what it is that you want to release in order to create the space for what it is that you want to manifest. Now, in terms of well-being, this is around your own areas of health. So it could be you might want to manifest that you are feeling more fit. You might want to manifest that you're losing a little bit of weight. So the waning moon, if you're on looking at weight loss, is going to be a great time to do a ritual around manifesting the loss of unhealthy weight. And I always like to use the word unhealthy weight because sometimes we want to lose weight when we don't really need to. So have a look at that. What is it that you can release to make space for what it is that you want? And the key here is to do it with loving compassion. You know, we're very self-critical. I mentioned in the previous reading that we can be so hard on ourselves and we can be very self-critical, particularly when we look in the mirror. You know, my hips are too big, my face isn't equally balanced, or whatever it is. And we can be very hard on ourselves. So I encourage you, for whatever it is that you want to manifest in regard to well-being, body, mind, spirit, health, do it with loving compassion. Don't do it from a space of criticizing. Don't do it from a space of, I hate my rear end because it's too big. Do it from a space of loving compassion and acceptance of where you are now, and bring that loving compassion into where it is that you want to travel in terms of manifesting health and well-being. And the final card is Internal Explorer. And this is really going within. This is really going within and really doing the challenging work in terms of what is it that is happening with your well-being at the moment, and what can you do to change it if it's not working for you? If it is working for you, a really positive way to do this internal exploration is to look at what you're already doing and see if you can build upon that. Now let's have a look at some charms for each card. And we've got the mushroom, and the gravestone. So I feel that for you, things, you've got to be a bit careful. It's interesting that I talked about, not self-criticizing and using loving compassion. And I feel that for you, you are very hard on yourself. I have a little thing that I do that a friend taught me. I have a bad habit of calling myself a twit when I do something wrong. And so my friend said, no, you don't want to send yourself that subconscious message because you're not. So you just say, cancel that. So if you find during the coming days between now and the end of October that you're maybe being a little bit toxic to yourself, do that thing, cancel that when you say something negative. Another thing that you might want to look at is if you're eating a little bit out of control, if you're eating lots of naughty things, having maybe too many indulgences, as we've all done during COVID, guilty, very much so. But have a look at maybe what is toxic to you, what is not serving your body, serving your mind, serving your emotions, serving your spirit. And it is time to make the decision to bring that to an end. So this can be part of the letting go during this waning moon period to get ready to manifest what it is that you want. Now, a couple of charms for loving compassion. What have we got here? Oops, dropped one. Obviously not meant to have it. So we've got the bells and the mountain. So this is about you facing the challenge, because a mountain can be a challenge. A mountain can be hard to climb. It can be a long way round. So this is looking at a challenge that you may have, and it is about announcing it, saying it out loud. With loving compassion, I am challenged by my weight, my eating habits, overworking, not spending enough time on the house, something like that. So look at what the challenge is that you're facing, make an announcement to yourself about it, but with loving compassion, not from a space of criticism. And I would suggest that whatever it is, you then turn it into a positive affirmation that you can use. Now, a couple of charms for the internal explorer. And another sign. So we've got the gun, which doesn't sound very nice, does it? And we've got the star sign of Virgo. So what do you do with a gun? You shoot it. Now, a gun of itself is not a negative tool, a negative weapon. It is the user who fires it. That is the negative. Someone may fire a gun in the air to start a race, for example, a starter's gun. Someone may fire a gun to hurt someone. So what we've got to do is look at the gun from the perspective of your internal exploration. Are you going to fire that gun in a negative way back into yourself as you explore what isn't working for you versus what is working? Or are you going to use this gun as a starter gun to start this internal exploration in what I call the beginner's mind, the Buddha beginner's mind, from that perspective, rather than doing this internal exploration from a space of maybe what hasn't worked in the past. Now, with the sign of Virgo, we've got mutable earth. So this is saying that this internal exploration, it's time to take it slowly and gently and not get too bogged down in the detail, because Virgo energy is very much a detail energy, an everyday energy. So what I'm seeing here is that this manifestation process between now and the end of the month, look at what you want to get rid of, look at what's toxic, what's not working for you, look at the challenge that it offers and make an announcement to yourself about it, how you're going to deal with it with loving compassion. And then you're going to dive deep into yourself to see the way forward, using this as a starter's gun to set the course, and then to just gently make the changes on a very practical level. I do hope this oracle reading, and in fact all of the oracle readings that I've done for this session, but for now and until the end of October, are helpful to you. Until next time, please do take care.